Hi, it's Roger here with episode 19 of Entrepreneur TV, and this is the episode where we talk about how to make your business take off. And we're about to take off in this balloon right here. And this is going to be a special episode because we're going to take off from a balloon, from a helicopter, and also from a plane. And this is all about like how do you actually set up the right promotions the right way. So we're going to just hop in and then we're going to get going and stay tuned. Wow, that was the most amazing trip. We saw elephants, we saw hippos, we saw crocodiles, we saw giraffes, we saw rhinos, and all sorts of other wildlife. This is like here in Africa. Highly recommend if you ever get a chance to get a balloon ride over a safari. Why today am I giving you 3 different trips? Is because after this we got to get onto a helicopter, head to Johannesburg airport, then I get onto a plane to go back to Bali. And like the whole metaphor of taking off and landing is really what it is to be a great entrepreneur, to kind of like set a destination, head off, bring others with you. And on the last episode, we went through how you go about creating your processes so that you can actually manage your processes in terms of where you can automate and you can outsource. So you can spend all your time piloting from one flight to another. And we're going to go through in this episode the 3 different types of flights you can take. The yellow level, which is all about the balloon. Like you got to go with whichever way the wind goes, whichever way the market's going, and it's when you're really getting started as an entrepreneur. Then green level, which is like the helicopter, which is where you can actually now start to control direction. It's something which is more things are automated within it, obviously. More processes allow you to go further, faster, and then finally we get to the airliner, which is that blue level, which can actually now go across oceans and give you the chance to basically now work at a whole different level, at the $1 million level. So this is going to be like a really awesome little video. I'm going to go through at every single step. You're going to see as we go through this that it's about how you set up profitable projects. Like if you've got your processes, which is one part of flow, and if you haven't seen that video, by the way, you got to watch it. It's right here, and it allows you to see how processes maintain flow, so you can focus now at projects, which is the 3rd step at yellow level, monetize your moment. All right, so goodbye from our little safari. There goes our balloon as it goes down, and we'll be catching up with you as we hop into the helicopter. So now we're heading up to the helicopter, which is just landing. And why is it so important that we actually follow this process of knowing that our processes themselves are going to be automated, and then our projects are going to be how we determine our flow? And the reason is because many people start their businesses where it's kind of like accidental. They'll open their shop or they'll open their website, and the whole thing is kind of like almost like a train station waiting for the train to come. And there's no way to control whether or not you're making money or not, whether or not customers are showing up. Once you start running projects or profitable projects, which are promotions, which means that you're actually making money as you're doing it, as you start doing that and achieving that, what happens is you start actually being able to track and test and measure the money you're going to make. And you're also making sure as you're doing that you're learning as you go, which means you're either learning or you're earning. And okay, here comes our helicopter. So there's a lot of dust coming up as it's landing by the we're actually by the car park at the moment. So the key thing here, as it's getting a bit windy, the key thing here is just knowing that once you decide that you're going to be able to like set your goals and set your plan, and you're actually going to be able to focus not on your processes, but you're going to focus at making sure that you are growing flow, building flow. Remember the processes we went through in the last one? We have a tractor here as well. It's all happening here right now. But as we actually start getting focused at this, the most important thing is knowing that with processes, the 4 that we went through on the last video, they're actually designed so that the 4 layers fit with the 4 geniuses. So for example, if you go back in that video and you watch it, you'll see that when we talk about cash, we're talking about lungs, we're talking about the steel genius. When we're talking about relationships, we're talking about heart. We're talking about the blaze genius. When we're talking about products, which are the assets, then we're talking about, you know, the gut. This is the earth genius. And then we have finally the nervous system, the brain, which is all about the engagements, and that is the dynamo genius. Like every one of us has got one of these measures which is best for us. We make sure in our team, every single one of our team members has got a number of processes that have measures that they're following, and then we then are able to focus 100% at the milestones, which is how we actually are able to track our projects, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hop on the helicopter, and then once we get off the helicopter, we're going to see how it's so different that once you actually decide that you're going to go on a journey, whether it's in a balloon, where you've got to go with whichever way the flow goes when you're just getting started, or whether it's in like a helicopter where you actually get to choose which way you're going to go and where your destination is, the moment you actually decide on that destination and you actually set up your promotions for success, everything you do in your business is able to actually then track it, you know, one step at a time. So we're going to see how that works the moment we get off the helicopter. Right, we're going to get going now. Let's see if we can get on this thing. Okay, so we landed safely, and as we head into transit now to Singapore Airlines, let me share with you the key things that every single project that you run, every single profitable project, which is a promotion, how every one of them has exactly the same steps. Doesn't matter if you are trying to launch a book, whether you're trying to create a new website, whether you're setting up a retail store. It's exactly the same steps every single time. It always starts with a why, just like if we're actually getting onto an aeroplane here, there's always a purpose of the visit, right? So why is it that you're running this promotion in the first place? The second thing is the what, which are the objectives. And the objectives always fall in 3 categories. 3 categories are, number 1, your financial objectives. So like, what are the 3 or 4 key things you're trying to do financially? The second thing is learning objectives. So whenever we're trying to learn anything new about any particular, new industry, or how to do something new, like a new partnership, we always will do the same thing, which we will always make sure that we're actually defining what those learning objectives are in the first place. Every time we've got involved in anything new in terms of a new system we're trying out, in terms of a new way of learning about whether it's social media or a new country, always the same thing. We will always make sure that they're down as our learning objectives. And the third thing is our development objectives. So if you want to build a new website, if you want to write a book, whatever it is you want to do, that's a development objective, but still is connected to the fact that you're going to be making money as you go. That's the what. Then the who is who's in your team. By the way, everything I'm sharing with you, the templates are available to you. Go to Genius U, the link is down below, follow that link, follow the mission, and what you'll find on that mission is all of the downloads and everything you need to be able to run your own promotions. And we do this for every single one of our businesses, quarter by quarter. Everyone in our team has got specific measures for their processes and specific milestones for their promotions. And that leads us to then, from the who, which is who's in the team, to the next step, which is the when, the milestones, and what are the specific milestones that we're actually setting, which is like from a week by week, month by month, throughout the entire promotion. What is it that we're trying to achieve? And then that leads us finally to the how, which is basically down to the project manager who's ever in charge of it, is going to actually say, here's how we're going to do this. And it changes every single week based on what you come up with. It's really interesting. When you actually look at all of these little private jets here, every one of them, when they take off, have to put together a flight plan. They have to say where they're going. In exactly the same way, every entrepreneur should be doing that as well. So what is your project, your promotion for this quarter? What are the key ones you've got going for this year? So that you always just focus at that 1 or 2 key things that you can do and you can do well. As we head over to the next stage, which is the plane, I am going to make sure that you get some examples of this, because even being here in South Africa is all about actually us running a promotion to basically see if we can get into a good partnership with entrepreneur.co.za. We ran our tour as a way for us to kind of test out our relationship together. It was profitable, but at the same time we learned so much from it, and we developed so much in terms of new teams and an entirely new market as well. So I will catch up with you with the key 3 levels of promotions once we get to the airport. So we're on the way right now into the airport, and we're actually coming through at the moment a helicopter hangar, which, as you can see, has got some pretty wild looking helicopters in here as well. And they're all different sizes. They can all go at different speeds. So I thought, well, why not? I'll kind of like give this a little analogy here as well. If you are at the foundation prism and you've gone through the steps we went through in terms of like how you go out and choose your job, make sure you get into the flow by working with others. Well, that could be like a $1,000 promotion using the promotion sheets, where it's actually about you going out looking for that opportunity to connect with others, but still using those particular steps. That could be like a little chopper, like this one here. Or you could be at yellow level, which is where you're actually going for like a $10,000 up to a $100,000 promotion, which is what happens when you're actually at yellow level, which could be one of the bigger choppers like this one here. Or you could be going at a green level where you've got a team together, and that allows you to go with more resource, with more support, which is now at an even bigger level, which could be like this one over here. And this is more like $100,000 to $1 million. And so it goes on up to blue level, million to 10 million. As I go into the next piece of this video, I'll give you examples of how within Entrepreneurs Institute, we have each of these different levels. It doesn't matter if you're Apple computer looking to launch the next iPhone, if you're Richard Branson launching Virgin Galactic, or if you're just starting your very first business with your very first product. It's exactly the same steps in your promotion every single time. Okay, so I'm here in the business lounge now, about to get onto the plane, and I wanted to show you this. We've all been to airports and seen aeroplanes kind of like queuing up ready to go, but this analogy I've been using about kind of taking off and having projects, promotions, which are profitable projects. The 2 really key things I wanted to share about this, which is like, being here in South Africa, we were here as part of a promotion, which was our tour. But as well as being part of the tour, which was one promotion that we were running with a partnership, we were also in the midst of looking for a new resort, which was a different promotion, which was part of our Entrepreneur Resorts group. We were also working with a whole bunch of different people who were actually on the program with us, setting up promotions for them through the mentoring that we were doing. And we were setting up our Alchemy Fund, which is our high-level coaching program and mentoring program and investment. So it's kind of like this. Have a look at this. This is the we've all seen one of these, right? I mean, that's basically like a timetable of all of the different flights coming and going. That's what green level feels like. So at the moment we're yellow level, which is all about, like self-employed, running one promotion at a time, making sure it's profitable. And then what happens is, as you get up to green level, you've actually got multiple promotions happening. You've got multiple teams. You look at the likes of Google or Apple or any of the big companies out there, they've got multiple teams, each working on something profitable, each working on something that they're developing with a particular market and with the particular profit center that they're focused at. So why is this so important? Because if you're at Foundation Prism, then you might be part of a promotion similar to the ones that I was mentoring people on in this last 2 weeks, where they were basically setting up the plan for them to be able to choose a job that was going to allow them to find the right mentors or get into the right partnership with the right people to generate cash flow. You might be at yellow level, which means that you might have a promotion, very much like some of the ones that we came up with in the last week when we were going through our mentoring, where, for example, one entrepreneur is looking to get into 3D printing, but wants to really get to know the market. So it's going to go to the London 3D printing show and is setting up a promotion to take a group from South Africa along with him, and they pay for his way, and he makes a profit out of it. So he's actually earning while he's learning, right? That's one example of actually turning something into something that's profitable, so you're not actually thinking of your project as a cost. That's one of the most important things. If you've got a to-do list and you're not getting it done because everything is a cost of either time or money, then the key thing is how do you actually turn that into something which now has flow, which means you've got to make money out of it. So there's no excuse for not doing it, and you turn it from a to-do list to to-do schedule, right? And that basically is exactly what it looks like when you've actually got, you know, every single one of those planes taking off at a particular time, when you just know it's going to go, and if it's given enough time frame, it's going to fill up with the right people. Now here's the key thing: if you've actually got a yellow level promotion, like for example when I launched my book in America, I didn't know all the people I needed at the time. You know, I didn't even know how I was going to do it. I never had a best-selling book before, but I still went ahead and basically said, this is what I'm going to do, and I gave myself a long enough time frame to then attract the right people to me. If you've got something like a website you're trying to design, or a new CRM system you're putting in, there's always a way to turn it into a profitable promotion where you're tying it in with the launch of a particular product or a particular partnership that you're working with as well. And that basically then comes to the green level promotions. We have at the moment a number that are going on, like this partnership we've got right now. We also have got a blue level promotion, like the one that we're actually running right now with our Alchemy Fund, where we're actually raising $25 million for that fund. And we've also got the idea of our resorts, which is also blue level as well. So the key to all of this is knowing that at every level you're going to be using exactly the same template, whichever one of the different levels you're on, and it's simply a matter of adding a zero each time as it goes from 1,000 to 10,000 to 1,000,000. And your key focus is every time that you're learning, you're building your confidence, which is your internal trust, and your credibility, which is your external trust, how much other people trust you. Okay, let's head on to this plane for the final part I want to share with you. Okay, so made it onto the plane, and now we're kind of like on the final leg of what's been a pretty crazy, hectic day. And I just wanted to finish with a final little, like a point about the fact that why do most people not even bother to put a promotion in place, to set a plan, is because they think they're going to fail. They think, well, what if I put it all in place and it doesn't actually work? What if I say I'm going to do things and I don't actually do them? But here's the point. The point is, here I am on this plane, and I'm surrounded by other people who, I want to go to Singapore, and then I want to go to Bali, and all these other people on this plane also want to go to Singapore. I don't know them. I haven't spoken to the pilot, but I'm guessing he's going to take me to Singapore. Like, how is that even possible that we all end up aligned to exactly the same point on the planet without speaking to each other? And it's because it was put down long ago that there was going to be a flight going to Singapore. The what and the when was already set up. So take your Wealth Dynamic Square. The top is what, right? That's the dynamo. The bottom is when. That's the arrow. You create the arrow, and then the who and the how, the bow, will show up. See, here's the problem. Most of us, we don't set things. We don't know the who. We're like, who's going to help us? We don't know how to do it. So we don't actually even set the bow. And as a result of that, we end up never getting the arrow. Start with the arrow, and then as a result of you doing that, you'll find that the bow will show up. The who and how will show up if you've got a compelling enough reason for what you're doing, and you have a profitable enough program that you're putting together at whichever level you happen to be. And I'm going to get into that in more detail in the very next video, but the most important thing right now is for you to know every successful entrepreneur in the world, they all have a clear picture of where they want to go. They have a clear picture of when they want to get there without even knowing exactly how they're going to do it. And then they actually attract the right people. The promotion plan that I put in place applies across every different industry, retail, consulting, online, anything. And we use it in every single one of our businesses as well. So go ahead, use it, and know that at the end of the day, when you get really focused and knowing what you want, where you're going, and how you're going to be of value to others, using those templates within the Genius You, then you can find magic starts to happen. All right, on the next video, I'll go through the 7 components which make up every project, every promotion. Until then, have a fantastic week. Put your questions down. We've got a Q&A coming up, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week.